Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, I just want to say that if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in the bio section of social media. We also have a pretty big earnings week this week, so a lot of the tickers I normally trade have earnings, and I won't touch them until after earnings because the premiums will be way too high, and I just don't want to deal with them. So the options, the watch list will be fairly small this week because of the earnings week, and we also have FOMC on Wednesday, so it's going to be a pretty busy week this week. So that's why you're going to need to be in the room, because we will end up playing the reactions to earnings this week. So you have to see what my game plan is in the morning for certain tickers that had earnings. So with that said, I'll get with the few tickers I have. Since I already have Walmart up, I'll start with Walmart. I'll start with the bullish side. Now Walmart, it's starting to look like it's getting ready to pop here. We get inverted head and shoulders. You get the left shoulder, you get the head and the right shoulder right here, if you want to say. And I think that if it gets over 143, it breaks out of this level, and you can see on the weekly, it's cup and handle on the weekly. I think it gets over this 143, 144 area, it's going to end up popping to 150. So I would watch for a strong move for Walmart over 143, 144, 145 for a push to this 147, 148, 150 area. So I would watch for that. I think that Walmart is going to end up having a good move. Target, is Target? No, never mind. Yeah, for some reason I thought Target had earnings this week, but I don't think they do. I don't see it. But anyways, I really think that Walmart's going to end up having a strong move soon. And DLTR, Dollar Tree, I keep watching this, and it just... It can't seem to get over 100. It gets to 100, it rejects. I mean, but this time it closed over 100, so we're going to watch for a push to 101, 102. 102 is the other big area. It's been struggling, so if it does manage to get over that, it could probably end up filling the gap to 106. So we'll definitely have to watch that. If earnings week is good, the market could be strong, and DLTR could get pushed with it. Now I have QCOM on the list. Now I know it has earnings this week, and I don't usually talk about them until after earnings, but I think that QCOM is actually primed for a nice big run. As you can see on the weekly, it's stalling out at the 145 area. Now if it does manage to get over this 145, 146 area, probably push to gap support at 150. If it gets through that, 155, 160. Now, if it has good earnings, it's probably going to go to all-time highs. So we'll have to see if QCOM has good earnings this week. You know, QCOM has earnings Wednesday after hours, so you might have an ER run up into Wednesday earnings. So we'll have to watch for that. I'm not quite sure how expensive QCOM will be with earnings this week, but we'll have to look. But yeah, I think that's poised to make a big run. Now, WYNN is another one I'm watching. Now, I know that WYNN is just, it's been selling off. It started to have a dead cat bounce right here, and it pulled back. And it's on the weekly, you can see right here, it's right at the RCT trend line. It tried to stay above it, which it did. So if it does manage to bounce this week, I would watch it over, say, 105 for a push to 110. If it gets over 110, 115, 120... and 125. We'll have to see if WYNN can actually bounce. If there's no Delta variant news or any other COVID news that could end up hurting the travel stocks. So now on the bearish side, I have a few, just a couple. One of them's Roku. Now Roku burned me on Friday, and still bitter about that. But anyways, it's pretty much near all-time high. Well, it's like $13 off, but we'll have to see if it actually does manage to get to all-time high, or watch it push to 500. Who knows with Roku? Roku's just got a mind of its own. I just think that after its $50 run it had on Friday, it needs to pull back. I mean, the hourly, look at the hourly. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The RSI is like 80 something, 83, 84. it needs to pull back. So, well, it doesn't need to. It can do what it wants, but I'm anticipating that it's going to. I'd watch it in the 470 for a push to 460, 450. Now, what usually ends up happening is that on Fridays when they have these monster runs, that I was anticipating a drop intraday, profit taking intraday or Friday. It didn't happen. And what usually ends up happening when they have stocks have a strong day, like Tesla and Roku, ones that are expensive, they'll wait till Monday to pull back because the premiums will be a lot higher. So they like to run up the premiums and just and sell them off on Monday. So we'll have to see if Roku will do that. Now Disney is another one. Typed in the wrong one. Now Disney, I keep looking at the head and shoulders still. It's still intact on the weekly. Now we have one on the daily. You get the left, the head, and the possible right shoulder right here. So it struggles over this 177 area. Now if it gets over that, I mean, it could pop to 180, but you even get the head and shoulders right here. You get the left, the head, and the right shoulder. It's more defined on the 1 hour. You have it on the 1 hour. You have it on the daily. You have it on the weekly. I mean, you get 3 different time frames showing the same thing. So I just keep thinking that it's gonna actually get smashed. So I'd watch it underneath 175 for push to 174, 172. Does manage to break this 172. You get this 170 area and the do or die area for Disney is 168. Now if it does manage to break 168, it's got a gap to fill down here into the 155, 150 area. So I would definitely watch that. Now, and the other one to watch is Netflix. Netflix had bad ER. The numbers weren't really that good, so I'm anticipating it could pull back more, but it did bounce off the RCT trend line on the daily. So it might try to bounce a little bit to like the middle Kel, which is the 20 EMA, then kind of bounce back down. So it could possibly bounce a little here before dropping, but I would watch it underneath this 507 area for a push to, let's see, the 500. 500 would be a big area. Then you have this 490 area. Then you get the 480. Now, this 480 has been holding pretty well. I'm not sure if it'll break, but if it does manage to break, I mean, you get this 470 area. Then 450, 460, then 450. But I don't know. I don't know if it will actually break this 480. It's been holding pretty well since almost a year. So, yeah, that's a really heavy support right there. So I would say likely it could bounce, but who knows? It could break this time. So with that said, that's it for the watch list. I mean, there's really nothing, like I said, Ball, because everything we play is having earnings. You know, Tesla, UPS, Apple, 3M, Boeing, Facebook, QCOM, McDonald's, Amazon, Cat, just to name a few. But like I said, just be in the room and we'll have a game plan before market opens, the levels to look at and what I'm anticipating, and we'll play from there. So that's going to do it. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.